The jail cell stinks of rust and despair. Sarah stands outside the iron bars, one hand pressed against the cold metal, the other clutching her shawl tight across her belly. Inside, Daniel sits on the wooden bench, wrists raw from iron cuffs bolted to the stone wall. His execution warrant hangs on a nail outside the cell. Dawn comes in 6 hours. "I'm pregnant," she says. He looks up. His face is bruised purple along the jaw, one eye swollen nearly shut. 3 weeks since the trial. 3 weeks since they dragged him from his homestead in chains, accused of a killing he didn't commit. The real murderer rode south the same night, pockets heavy with stolen gold. "Sarah," her name breaks in his throat, "with your child." Her voice trembles. "And you're sentenced to hang tomorrow." The words land like stones in water. He stands, chain scraping floor. 2 steps, and the iron stops him short. His hands open and close, reaching for air between them. "When did you know?" 2 weeks. A sob catches her. I thought they'd find the truth. I thought someone would speak for you. No one spoke. The dead man's brother wanted blood. The judge wanted the circuit finished. The town wanted the problem solved clean and quick. Daniel's past, a drifter who'd settled only 18 months before, made him convenient. Outside the window, snow begins. November in Montana Territory. The child would come with summer. "You need to leave," he says. "Go to your sister in California. Say the father died. Say..." No. Flat. Final. "Sarah, listen. I won't raise this child on lies." She steps closer to the bars. In the lamplight, her face shows harder than he's seen. 23 years old, but her eyes carry older weight. "I won't tell our baby their father was a hanged man who did nothing wrong. I won't." He touches her hand through the bars. Her fingers are ice cold. "Then tell them I died breaking rock. Tell them anything but the rope. I'll tell them their father broke chains rather than leave us." Her chin lifts. "I'll tell them you chose us. That's not..." He stops, looks at her, really looks. She's not crying anymore. Something else burns in her face now. Something fierce. "The guard changes in an hour," she whispers. "Young one. He plays cards every night in the saloon until midnight. Drinks heavy." "Sarah, what did you do?" She pulls a key from inside her shawl. Brass, small, handcuff key. "What I had to?" The key turns. The cuffs fall. Daniel's hands are free for the first time in 21 days. He stands there, staring at his own wrists like they belong to someone else. "Move," Sarah says. The cell door swings silent. She'd oiled the hinges that afternoon while delivering his meal. The guard station sits empty. Through the window, Daniel sees fresh snow covering their tracks already. God's mercy or fool's luck. "Your horse is behind the livery," she whispers. "Mine too. I packed supplies. Food for a week, blankets, your rifle." You planned this? Not a question. Did you think I'd just let them kill you? She's already moving down the corridor. There's a line shack 30 miles north. Abandoned. We can reach it by dawn if we ride hard. Outside, the cold hits like fists. Sarah hands him a coat. His own. She'd retrieved it somehow. The horses wait where she promised. Breath steaming white. He knows the mare. The old bay he'd bought last spring. Sarah sits a smaller paint, nervous stepping. You can't come, he says. I'm already coming. Sarah, they'll hunt us both now. You helped a condemned man escape. I know what it is. She's already mounted. You planning to stand here arguing until the guard comes back? He swings up. The saddle feels strange after weeks of cell floor. They ride. The snow thickens. Good. It'll hide their trail. Daniel knows this country. Spent a winter trapping up near the Canadian line before he settled. The line shack sits in a fold of hills where the timber grows thick. If they can reach it, if the snow holds, they might have days before anyone finds them. If. Sarah rides well, better than he expected. She's rancher's daughter, he remembers. Grew up on horseback. Still 30 miles in November dark. Pregnant, running. He'd never asked her to risk this. 10 miles out, they stop to rest the horses. Sarah sways in the saddle. He catches her arm. I'm fine. You're not. I'm fine enough. But she lets him help her down. They stand in the shelter of pines, horses blowing hard. Daniel, what happens after? After? After we reach the shack. After the snow stops. After they come looking. He doesn't answer because he doesn't know. Canada, maybe. Mexico? Anywhere but here. A life running. Always running. No home. No roots. No name they could use twice. A child. Born to fugitives. I'm sorry, he says. For what? All of it. Getting arrested. Getting you. He gestures helplessly at her belly. Sarah laughs. Actually laughs. Sharp and bitter. You think I regret this, baby? You think that's what I'm crying about back there? Aren't you? I'm crying because they're trying to kill you for something you didn't do. I'm crying because the world's that broken. She steps closer. But this child? This is the only thing that makes sense anymore. The snow falls heavier. They need to move. 5 more miles to the ridge, he says. Then it's downhill to the shack. We'll make it. She nods, mounts again. They ride. Dawn finds them at the shack door. The building's half collapsed, but the back room holds. There's even wood stacked inside. Miracle of miracles. Daniel gets a fire going while Sarah unpacks the supplies. Beans, coffee, salt pork, flour. Enough for a week, maybe 2, if they're careful. Now what? She asks. He looks at her across the fire. Exhausted, snow wet, still wearing that fierce expression. Now, we rest, he says. Then we figure out how to stay alive. 4 days. The snow stopped on the third morning. Daniel stands at the shack window, watching the trail. Nothing yet, but they'll come. Sarah sleeps on the bedroll near the fire, finally resting after 2 nights of fever. The pregnancy makes her sick in the mornings. He boils pine needle tea, remembers his mother doing the same. Hoofbeats. He grabs the rifle. 2 riders. Through the trees, he sees them. But these aren't lawmen. He recognizes the bigger horse. Recognizes the rider. Thomas Webb, his only friend in that town. Daniel steps outside, rifle lowered but ready. Thomas raises both hands, showing empty palms. The second rider is Thomas's wife, Martha. She carries saddlebags bulging with supplies. "Don't shoot," Thomas says. "We're not here to turn you in." "Then why are you here?" Martha dismounts, already moving toward the shack. "That girl needs a doctor, but she'll settle for a woman who's birthed 3 babies. Let me pass." Daniel steps aside. Thomas ties the horses, moves slow, careful. "They're looking for you," Thomas says quietly. "Sheriff raised a posse, but the snow slowed them. They rode east. Figured you'd run for Dakota." "How'd you find us?" "I helped you build this shack 2 years back, remember? For the trap line." Thomas looks tired, old. "Dan, I need to tell you something. Something I should have said at the trial." Inside, Martha's voice murmurs to Sarah. The fire crackles. "I saw him," Thomas says. "The night of the killing. I saw Jim Hollister ride out of town, heading south. His saddlebags were heavy, and he rode like the devil was chasing him. That was an hour after they found the body." Daniel goes still. Jim Hollister. The dead man's brother. His brother who claimed you did it. His brother who testified against you. Thomas spits into the snow. "I knew right then, but I didn't speak. My wife, my kids, Jim Hollister's family owns half the county. I thought maybe you'd get a good lawyer. Maybe the truth would come out some other way. It didn't." "No." Thomas won't meet his eyes. "I let them condemn you because I was afraid. And I've been sick with it every day since." The silence stretches. Daniel wants to rage, wants to break something. This man's cowardice almost killed him. But he sees Thomas's face, sees the shame carved deep. "Why tell me now?" Daniel asks. "Because Martha wouldn't let me sleep, wouldn't let me eat. Said if I didn't make this right, I wasn't the man she married." Thomas finally looks up. "And because you got a child coming, that changes things." "What can you do? I'm already escaped. They'll hang me twice if they catch me now. There's a territorial judge coming through in 3 weeks. Circuit judge, not the local man. He's got a reputation for fairness. If I testify to what I saw, if we can find evidence Hollister's been spending gold he didn't have before." "That's a lot of ifs." "It is." Thomas nods. "But Martha says there's talk in town. Other people saw things, noticed things. The dead man's wife never believed it was you. Some folks are starting to ask questions." Martha appears in the doorway. Sarah needs rest and decent food, and she needs to stop sleeping on frozen ground. She looks at Daniel. "That baby's fine for now, but she's fragile. This life will kill her inside a month." Daniel knows she's right. He's watched Sarah growing weaker, watched the way she touches her belly when she thinks he's not looking. Fear written plain. "What are you proposing?" he asks. "Come back," Thomas says. "Turn yourself into that territorial judge when he arrives. Let me testify. Let's do this proper. They'll lock me up again. Probably hang me before your judge even gets there. Not if enough people make noise. Not if the dead man's wife speaks up." Thomas steps closer. "Dan, I can't promise it'll work. But I can promise I won't stay silent this time. I'll burn every bridge I've got to make this right." Daniel looks back at the shack, sees Sarah through the window, sitting up now, drinking something Martha brought, sees the life they're living, or trying to. Running, hiding, dying slow. "I need to talk to Sarah," he says. Inside, Sarah listens to it all. When Thomas and Martha finish, she's quiet a long time. "If we run," she finally says, "this baby grows up nowhere. Always moving, always scared. If we go back, I might hang anyway." "You might," she takes his hand, "but at least we'd know we tried to do it right." The territorial judge arrives on a cold December morning. Daniel sits in the same cell, same chains. But this time, something's different. Outside, a crowd gathers. Martha Webb organized it. 20 women from the county, all standing silent, in the street. The dead man's widow stands front and center. Sarah visits every day. Her belly's showing now, small but visible. She doesn't hide it. Judge Harlan's a gray-haired man with sharp eyes. He reads the original trial transcript, asks questions, listens. When Thomas Webb takes the stand, the courtroom goes silent. "I saw Jim Hollister ride out that night," Thomas says. His voice shakes but holds. "His saddlebags were heavy. He rode hard, like a man running from something. An hour later, they found his brother dead, the cold missing, and I said nothing. The prosecutor objects. Jim Hollister's lawyer shouts, but Judge Harlan raises one hand. Let him finish." Thomas tells it all. The weight of the saddlebags, the direction Hollister rode, the timing. Then he says the hardest part. "I stayed silent because I was afraid. The Hollisters own half this county. I've got a family. I chose cowardice over truth, and an innocent man nearly died for it." The dead man's widow testifies next. Her husband and Jim fought constantly over the family money. Jim gambled heavy, owed debts across 3 territories. Her husband threatened to cut him off entirely. "I never believed Daniel Gray killed my husband," she says. "But nobody asked me. They just decided it was the drifter and moved on." More witnesses. A saloon keeper who saw Jim Hollister spending gold coins 2 days after the murder, new coins freshly minted, same as what was stolen. A banker who confirms Jim tried to deposit a large sum, then withdrew it quick when questions were asked. Judge Harlan calls for a recess. 3 hours later, he returns. The original conviction was based on circumstantial evidence and assumption, he says. New testimony and evidence raised substantial doubt. The charges against Daniel Gray are dismissed. Jim Hollister is to be apprehended for questioning. The chains come off. Daniel stands. His legs shake. Sarah's there, pushing through the crowd. And then she's in his arms, and he's holding her, holding their child, holding the future he thought he'd lost. Outside, Thomas Webb waits. "I don't expect forgiveness," Thomas says. Daniel looks at him. This man who almost cost him everything. This man who finally found courage when it mattered most. "You came back," Daniel says. "That's what counts." They shake hands. Martha hugs them both. Spring comes. Daniel rebuilds his homestead. The cabin he started before the arrest still stands, waiting. He finishes the roof, builds a proper floor, installs a door that locks from inside. Sarah plants a garden. Beans, squash, potatoes. Things that'll grow. Her belly swells with summer. She moves slower now, one hand always on her back. Daniel builds a cradle from pine, sands it smooth, so no splinters can harm tender skin. In June, Thomas and Martha visit. They bring supplies, stay for dinner. The friendship's different now, scarred but real. Some breaks heal stronger. The baby comes in July. A girl. They name her Hope. Daniel holds his daughter in the cabin doorway, watching Sarah sleep. The garden grows outside. The door stands open to summer air. Everything they built, everything they chose, it's real. It's theirs. Sarah wakes, sees him there. "What are you thinking?" "That love isn't something you find," he says. "It's something you build, board by board, day by day, even when it's hard. Especially then." She smiles. "Come here." He sits beside her. Their daughter sleeps between them. Outside, the garden grows. Inside, the fire burns low, but steady. They built this. They chose this. The chains are broken. The door stands open. They're home.